What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning into this episode of EnglishTurks, where I review your favorite Turkish series with and without English subtitles. And it's time for our weekly update. Alright guys, let's talk about what happened this week. It's crazy. I really tried to watch Gunde, Kotu, Gunde before I filming this, but that just didn't happen. And so I will film my finale insert for that show in next week's weekly update. But this week, I want to talk about what's been going on, all the different shows I've been watching, and actually some shows that I haven't been watching, but news has come up about those shows, so I kind of want to address that. So let's start with Gunde Kotu Gunde, episode 5. No, not episode 6. Episode 5, Sarp actually ends up going to Layla's house. He was drunk, and then he ends up spending the night. Now, it was a cute scene seeing them sleep together, but I have to keep reminding myself he is engaged to Melissa, and so far, Melissa hasn't given us any reason to see her as an unfit bride for him to begin with. Sarp ends up leaving Layla's house and going to this yacht that he takes out to the middle of the ocean and goes to this island. Now, Layla knows about this, so she convinces the fisherman to take her there. And then she tries to convince Sarp to take her back. Now, the reason why she went there was because she felt bad for Melissa. Melissa's, trying to figure out what's wrong with Sarp. And so when she does try to talk to Sarp and, it just keeps bringing back their old memories, she wants him to bring her back. But since it was so late, Sarp convinced her to just spend the night there on the yacht. And then the mother figures out, maybe he's on the yacht. And so she goes and finds them sleeping in the same cabin. So I'm sure for those of you who've watched episode 6, you already know what happened. I don't know what happened, but I'm excited to see what happens later on today when I do actually get a chance to watch it. I will leave the link for episode 5 review in the description below. The second show I watched this week was Sefirin Kizi and Kavruk. Kavruk had his henna night, and that was I feel odd about it. He doesn't want to be with the bride that he's given, but then again, because of Sanjar's mother, he hesitates to be with the person he really wants to be with, which is Sanjar's sister. Now, Malek was basically given the sleeping pills in her drink, and now her lips are blue, and it's crazy because they did not see Akin behind the door. That was just the craziest thing. However, it seems like the maid is going to sees Akin next to Minaj in the house. I don't know what she's going to do to lie about it. I don't think she knows what Akin looks like. So I think that's going to work to their advantage because she doesn't know. But then again, they're going to try to figure out who is he, because she greeted everybody walking into that henna night. So she did not greet him. So that's going to be something to think about. And also, like I said in my podcast, they left the cups everywhere. The cups of the guards that drank it, and then she might put two together and realize that Minaj gave her that cup of lemonade juice to give to her. So, who knows what's going to happen? I can't wait to see it and this week's coming episode. Now, Menajerimi Ara, the day was switched. It's on Sunday. That's crazy. So now we get to watch it on Sunday. Menajerimi Ara, the day was switched to Sundays. So now, Gunde is finishing, so it'll give me something else to watch on Sunday. I hope it's a good move. The show is still really great. All the old characters from series that I've watched before in the past are coming into this show, and I love it. I need to start writing down because so far 3 of them I've known from past series that I've watched. So I'm interested to see what happens. Beren has figured out that Dizi is Tirat's daughter, and she's going to be jealous, and she actually ends up telling Barish. So we're going to see how that dynamic works, because I think Barish is going to try to protect her. But I have watched the fragment, and there's this really cute guy coming in. It seems like he might have a consistent role. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing in the summary reviews for the episode. And so maybe he's going to be the guy that makes Badish jealous of Dijale. Now Dijale kind of did express to him that he didn't wait for her. Was that in imagination? I think that was in her imagination. I think so. But we'll see what happens in the next episode. They did do a cute interview and someone put the English translation in one of the groups. I'm not sure which group it was, but it was really cute to see how they talk with each other. I would really like to see the actor Deniz Can, the person that plays Badish. I would like to see him in a series with Demet. I think they would be on fire in a series together. Like, guys, can we talk to some producers out there? We need to put those two on screen together because that's gonna be a show. That's gonna be a show. It needs to be a comedic love story. But yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head when I watched that interview of them. Now, Masumlar Apartmani also watched that this week, and Safiye has found out that Han is actually married to Ince, and that's how they really left off the episode. It's kind of scary, guys, because who knows how she is going to react. I have no idea. But also in this week's episode, Han became really scary. Like, he's scaring me. Okay? Well, I mean, what does that mean? He's just becoming very scary, and it just goes to show you, like, you never know who you've married. So I don't know how this is going to play into the story, but obviously NJ is going to start finding out things that she didn't realize before she married Han. Now let's go to Senchaka Pimi. This week's show was kind of interesting. I mean, I thought that Serkan made the dumbest decision ever, breaking up with Eda. But not only did he break up with her, but he did it in like a really mean way. You know, he brought him back to the place where the contract started, and then he kind of like cut things off. I mean, the girl literally disrupted her entire life for you, and that's your solution to the problem. I get it that he's nervous because she said she's never gonna forgive her grandma for being part of that and everything like that concerning her parents' death. However, common sense would say, I'm just saying, common sense would say, do I break up with her by doing this in this most this ugly way so that she can be angry with me at the same time? Or do I tell her the truth and let her break up with me knowing that she knows the truth? Because either way, you're going to lose her, right? Either way, in your mind, you're going to lose her. But why lose her by making her feel like she's made the dumbest decision in the world? Why not leave her with the truth? And then maybe eventually she might forgive you, and if she doesn't, at least you know you told her the truth. So I didn't like the way that he broke up with her. That was annoying. And also I found out that the girl that plays Melo, she has corona, guys. At least that's what the reports say. So they tested everyone and no one else had it, so they're actually gonna continue filming without her, and she'll go through the process until she can be able to go back to work. So we might be missing her in a few episodes. I don't know how they're gonna do that transition, but it'll be interesting to see the episodes without her. Now let's go to Dogdugun Ev Kaderindir. Guys, the episode ends with Mehdi going to jail. Zeynep gets her job back, and then Emanet has returned back to the neighborhood. Here's my issue, guys. Here is my issue. I honestly, and I said it in the podcast, all these shows I have podcast reviews for, and I'm linking them in the description. But what I said in the podcast is this love story does not end well. I'm telling you guys right now, it does not end well. Everything is leading to the fact that it doesn't end well. One thing about the fragments is that they make it look as if Zeynep and Mehdi are partying every time. They only show you the clips of anger, clips of walking away, even if they walked away not arguing and stuff like that. And so even though this next week's fragment looks as if, this is going to be a deal breaker for them, I highly doubt it will be. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I don't know. The show is a little bit intense this week. Now, as for Legacy, Emanet, oh my gosh, guys, this episode that aired on Friday, guys, she was buried alive. Seher was buried in a casket alive. That is like the scariest thing ever. A few weeks ago, I was having nightmares about being buried alive or being trapped in a trunk. Like, that is like so scary, heart palpitating scary. And that actually ends up happening to her. Yaman actually went against his nature and apologized to this guy in order to get Seher back. But he also ended up getting the guy, forcing the guy to apologize to Seher. You start seeing Seher's influence on Yaman, because when he wants to do something, she's kind of like holding him back. Like, he wanted to go after the men, but she held him back. He wanted to kill the guy, and she held him back. So she's having more and more influence over him. I love the scene where like she hugged him after coming out of the grave. But what I didn't like was the editing. The amount of dust and stuff that they put all over her face, all over her clothes. For her to come out of that grave clean as a whistle, I didn't like that. I thought like she should at least be dusty. The one thing I did like was the editing of the eyes, because the eyes were like, man, it looked like dust had fallen in her eyes and they were burning red. So that was one thing I did like. I also watched Cocukluk this week, and the story focuses were on Dodo, the little 2-year-old boy, and Zeynep. So Dodo was actually put forward to this family, and the mother was just like psychotic. I felt bad for him. And the fact that he was spazzing out and she still don't want to call 911, that was scary. As for Zeynep, she did pick a great family, but honestly, it was way too early. What was it, like 4 or 5 days since separating with her mother? That's too early to be, wanting a child to be adopted. But the mother is also super selfish because she wants free babysitting. Like, who does that? Oh, let her stay at the orphanage. I don't want her to be adopted. Are you out of your mind? Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's either you're going to come and get your daughter now, or you're going to leave her for somebody else to come and adopt her. That's just super selfish. And she keeps listening to the boyfriend, so who knows what's going to happen. I hope she finally puts on her big girl pants and goes and gets her daughter. But at this point, I really feel like she doesn't deserve Zeynep anymore. Now, there is a series I started watching this week, which made me delay on watching Sen Çal Kapimi and Dogdugun, and that is a series called Love Again. And it's an older series. It's actually on YouTube with English translations. And the reason why I started watching it is because there was this post on one of the Facebook groups. I don't know, there's so many. And in the post, it was like favorite Turkish series of all times. And this person had shared this series, and they put the link for the first episode, and they said all the English episodes were online. So my nosy self started to watch it, and then I got hooked. I'm up to like 37, 38 in the episodes, and it has 104 episodes. I'm not going to watch it all the way to the end, but I do like it. It seems like a very interesting show. And I finally got to see the actress that played John's mom in Bay on This. Remember I said I'd never seen her before? Well, she's actually plays the mom in this series. She's your typical rich Turkish mom that doesn't want her son dating a regular girl that doesn't have money. So if you want to check that out, it's on YouTube. It's called Love Again, and it's like a comedic love story. Now, I wanted to point out 2 other series. One is Yeni Hayat. Now, as you know, Yeni Hayat was supposed to be canceled, but then I saw this fragment for another episode and I got really confused. So I did a little digging, and it turns out that they've rescinded their decision to cancel, and they're actually going to keep the show running. It was picked up by a director or something like that. I don't know the full details, but I think it's like a change in director, a change in the station hosting it, something like that. And so then when the next episode aired, the views picked up a little bit, so they end up keeping the show on air. So right now it's still running. They say it's going to last at least up until the new year, so we'll see what's going on. Now there's this other show this new show that came out, Seref Sozu. I hope I'm saying it right. I started to watch it, only got like 15 minutes into the first episode, and then I had things to do, so I couldn't continue watching it. I heard some good things from people about it. Let me know what you think about the series. I heard the ratings were kind of low, and so it might not last. It has a mixture of Lebanon in there, but what I heard about the series, it's like one of the first Turkish series where they took an island, created the set on this island for the series. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's what I read in Turkish news. Guys, I have been watching Turkish news a little bit when it comes to series. There's one on YouTube where basically she says everything in English, so it's easy to understand. That's where I got the details about Yeni Hayat and Gunde and Sefirin Kizi. Now, Gunde, I saw a post on Facebook saying that the show is going to continue, but on an online platform. I'm not sure how true that is, but I'm hoping that it's true anyways. But in the Turkish news series, it didn't say anything about that, or maybe she hasn't found out about it yet, so she hasn't posted anything about it. But that has been what's been going on this week. Every episode that I've watched this week has a podcast review in the comments below, and I actually posted a walkthrough for Dogdagon and for Sefirin Kizi this week. I might do 2 or 3 shows a week, just posting walkthroughs of episodes for those of you who can't find them in English. Super easy, and now you can actually even download the English versions. I don't know if you guys know that, but I'll keep that to myself for now. Now, I wanted to share some good news because I almost forgot. On my podcast channel, you can actually leave voice messages. So what I want to try to do, because the whole point of this channel and this whole brand of EnglishTurks is to connect with other English speakers that love watching Turkish series, because a lot of us don't have people nearby us who also watch Turkish television. So I love to communicate and conversate with people about the show. So I am going to start adding that as something on this channel, on the YouTube channel, and on the podcast, so that I can gauge and get feedback off of what other people think. Because a lot of times I think something means one thing and I see posts about it saying something else. I put my 2 cents in and then I find out that I'm completely wrong. Like, for instance, the whole fragment with Serkan from Senchaka Pimi. In the fragment he says bitti, which means like done or whatever. And so I was under the impression that he told her the truth about his connection to her parents, and that basically he was ending the story by saying, and that's it, like that's the end of the story. But someone else had posted on Facebook that they ended their relationship, and come to find out it was true. And so quite a few times I find out that what my thoughts are not exactly what's in the show or what's airing on the show. So I want to conversate with people. I want to have the opportunity to talk with you guys who are such faithful watchers and faithful listeners, and to gauge off what you're thinking. And if you're like me, who is that single person that no one's in their family or friend groups watch Turkish series, and you want someone to talk to about it, then definitely stay tuned, because I'm going to be posting it on the EnglishTurks page and maybe also on the Instagram, so that you can partake in the conversation. I'll talk to you guys in the next show.